Welcome to Speak Peak English. Today we are going to practice English with the story The Winter Festival. We'll explore new winter vocabulary as we follow along. This is a wonderful opportunity to improve your listening and speaking skills while immersing yourself in the festive spirit of winter. Let's dive in and enjoy the story. Listen carefully. The Winter Festival. This year, 12-year-old Mia was especially excited. She and her family were in charge of organizing the town's winter games. She spent hours making sure everything was perfect, from the sledding hill to the ice skating rink. She even helped her mom bake gingerbread cookies for the hot cocoa stand. It was her dream for the festival to be a magical experience. As the big day approached, a heavy snowfall covered the town in a thick layer of powdery snow. Mia watched out her window as snowflakes drifted down, covering everything in a sparkling white blanket. She couldn't wait to see the festival come alive. On the morning of the winter festival, Mia bundled up in her warmest coat, knitted hat, and cozy mittens. She could feel the excitement in the air as people began to gather around the town square, which was decorated with twinkling lights, pine garlands, and colorful scarves hanging from the lampposts. The festival kicked off with the first event, a snowman building contest. Families and friends worked together, rolling huge snowballs and carefully stacking them to make the most creative snowmen. Mia joined in, building her own snowman with a bright red scarf, a carrot nose, and a pair of buttons for eyes. She even added a little hat, just for fun. Next came the sledding races down Frost Hill. Mia cheered as kids and adults zoomed down the hill, their sleds leaving trails in the fresh snow. The chilly wind whipped through their hair, and laughter echoed through the crisp winter air. Mia's little brother Ethan even won second place, and she couldn't have been prouder. As evening fell, Mia's family set up the hot cocoa stand. The aroma of hot chocolate, spiced cider, and freshly baked gingerbread cookies filled the air. People gathered around, warming their hands on steaming mugs and nibbling on cookies. Mia could feel the warmth spreading through her, even in the cold winter air. But just as the festivities were winding down, Mia's mom called everyone to gather around the town's giant evergreen tree. "We have a special surprise," she announced, winking at Mia. Mia was confused until her dad handed her a small shiny box. Inside, she found a beautiful silver snowflake ornament engraved with her name and the words, "Winter Festival Hero." Mia looked up, her eyes wide with surprise. "You've worked so hard to make this festival wonderful for everyone," her mom said. "This is our way of saying thank you." Overwhelmed, Mia hung the ornament on the tree's highest branch. As she stepped back, the lights on the tree flickered on, illuminating the square in a soft, warm glow. Snow began to fall gently, sparkling under the lights, and the townsfolk burst into applause, cheering for Mia. Mia beamed with pride, feeling warmth spread through her as her friends and family surrounded her. In that moment, with snow falling all around, she realized this winter festival was the best one yet, and she'd remember it for years to come. After listening to the story, I'm sure you noticed how warm and cheerful the atmosphere was at the winter festival. What did you think of the characters' interactions? How about you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's explore some new winter vocabulary words from the story to enhance our English skills. It's time for word exploration. 1. Frost. Definition: a thin layer of ice crystals that forms on surfaces when the temperature drops below freezing. Example from the story. As soon as the first snowfall blanketed the rooftops and frosted the trees, the townsfolk began preparing for the annual winter festival. Example from real life. In the morning, frost covered the car windows, making it look like they were decorated with tiny ice crystals. 2. Snowflake. Definition: a single crystal of snow, typically appearing as a delicate, unique, six-sided structure. Example from the story. Inside, she found a beautiful silver snowflake ornament, engraved with her name and the words, "Winter Festival Hero." Example from real life. She caught a snowflake on her glove, marveling at its intricate pattern, before it melted. 3. Sledding. Definition: the activity of riding on a sled, often down a snowy hill for fun. Example from the story. Next came the sledding races down Frost Hill. Example from real life. After the snowstorm, the kids spent hours sledding down the biggest hill in the park. 4. Blanket. Definition: a covering, usually of snow in winter contexts, that spreads evenly across an area. Example from the story. Mia watched out her window as snowflakes drifted down, covering everything in a sparkling white blanket. Example from real life. A fresh blanket of snow covered the entire field, making everything look peaceful and white. 5. Crisp. Definition: cool, fresh, and slightly sharp air or atmosphere, often associated with winter weather. Example from the story. The air was crisp, filled with a scent of pine and wood smoke. Example from real life. On a crisp winter morning, she wrapped herself in a scarf before heading outside to enjoy the fresh air. Now we've reached the final round. Let's practice both listening and speaking skills together with a repeat after me session. Ready? Let's get started. The Winter Festival. This year, 12-year-old Mia was especially excited. She and her family were in charge of organizing the town's winter games. She spent hours making sure everything was perfect, from the sledding hill to the ice skating rink. She even helped her mom bake gingerbread cookies for the hot cocoa stand. It was her dream for the festival to be a magical experience. As the big day approached, a heavy snowfall covered the town in a thick layer of powdery snow. Mia watched out her window as snowflakes drifted down, covering everything in a sparkling white blanket. She couldn't wait to see the festival come alive. On the morning of the winter festival, Mia bundled up in her warmest coat, knitted hat, and cozy mittens. She could feel the excitement in the air as people began to gather around the town square, which was decorated with twinkling lights, pine garlands, and colorful scarves hanging from the lampposts. The festival kicked off with the first event, a snowman building contest. Families and friends worked together, rolling huge snowballs and carefully stacking them to make the most creative snowmen. Mia joined in, building her own snowman with a bright red scarf, a carrot nose, and a pair of buttons for eyes. She even added a little hat, just for fun. Next came the sledding races down Frost Hill. Mia cheered as kids and adults zoomed down the hill, their sleds leaving trails in the fresh snow. The chilly wind whipped through their hair, and laughter echoed through the crisp winter air. Mia's little brother Ethan even won second place, and she couldn't have been prouder. As evening fell, Mia's family set up the hot cocoa stand. The aroma of hot chocolate, spiced cider, and freshly baked gingerbread cookies filled the air. People gathered around, warming their hands on steaming mugs and nibbling on cookies. Mia could feel the warmth spreading through her, even in the cold winter air. But just as the festivities were winding down, Mia's mom called everyone to gather around the town's giant evergreen tree. "We have a special surprise," she announced, winking at Mia. Mia was confused until her dad handed her a small, shiny box. Inside, she found a beautiful silver snowflake ornament, engraved with her name and the words, "Winter Festival Hero." Mia looked up, her eyes wide with surprise. "You've worked so hard to make this festival wonderful for everyone," her mom said. "This is our way of saying thank you." Overwhelmed, Mia hung the ornament on the tree's highest branch. As she stepped back, the lights on the tree flickered on, illuminating the square in a soft, warm glow. Snow began to fall gently, sparkling under the lights, and the townsfolk burst into applause, cheering for Mia. Mia beamed with pride, feeling warmth spread through her as her friends and family surrounded her. In that moment, with snow falling all around, she realized this winter festival was the best one yet, and she'd remember it for years to come. That wraps up today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed learning with the story, The Winter Festival. If you liked this session, please consider liking and subscribing for more content. Remember, practice makes perfect, so keep exploring and practicing your English. Until next time, stay warm and take care.